Chitose becomes angry when she and her maids see how close Nasa and Tsukasa have become, and Chitose bets that disaster will strike as honeymoon vacations are often trouble for couples. Nasa forgets his wallet, but they don't fight to Chitose's sadness. The couple have fun in a food court, but Tsukasa insists they try something unique instead of eating at a chain restaurant, and she takes Nasa to a place that serves ramen with lime. She is excited to try this unique combination, but finds the taste very ordinary. When Nasa also finds the dish boring, he suggests directly eating the lime, and the sourness proves too much for Tsukasa. After Tsukasa's embarrassment, Nasa suggests they find some dessert, and she forgives him over some melon bread. Angry that the couple have not divorced, Chitose confronts Tsukasa directly, and Tsukasa tries to insist she is just a normal teenager. Suddenly, a news crew arrives, and the couple retreat to avoid being on camera while Chitose also makes her escape. On the bus, Tsukasa admits that Chitose is probably following them. Meanwhile, since Chitose and her maids have a fancy car to catch up to the bus, they decide to sit in the rest area to keep eating ramen. The couple arrive in Kyoto, and Nasa is excited to spend the day exploring the city with Tsukasa. Tsukasa is excited to go to Kyoto's bakeries, to Nasa's horror, as he wants them to see places in Kyoto that can't be found anywhere else. Nasa points out that Kyoto is full of unique shrines and temples, and although Tsukasa isn't interested in historical places, she decides to go with him. After Tsukasa tries a kimono, they are once again confronted by Chitose and her maids in disguise. Nasa asks the maids to take Tsukasa around Kyoto while he and Chitose work things out. But when they leave, Chitose announces she will act as a fake girlfriend to test whether he is worthy of Tsukasa. Determined, Nasa goes all out to Chitose's embarrassment. Meanwhile, at a cafe, the maids interrogate Tsukasa over Nasa, and she admits that she finds her husband very cute, and that he treats people very kindly. Nasa reveals his plan to travel around Kyoto based on his research and takes Chitose to a famous dango shop. Chitose demands to know why he loves Tsukasa, and Nasa starts to rant about how cute Tsukasa can act, which makes Chitose upset because she feels like she knows Tsukasa better than him. Nasa also tells Chitose about how Tsukasa saved him from a truck 2 years ago, and that ever since that day he felt destined to be with Tsukasa. He also states that love is a continuous challenge, and though Chitose has known Tsukasa for longer, he will prove through action for the rest of his life that he is worthy of Tsukasa. Later, he tells Tsukasa that after hearing his words, Chitose decided to go back to Tokyo. As the couple finally make their way to Nara to meet Nasa's parents, Nasa reveals that although he was born and raised in Tokyo, his weird parents decided to move far away to Nara to see archaeology and authentic deer. He would like to introduce her as the cutest girl in the universe, and Tsukasa insists he does not do that. Tsukasa is nervous, so they try to cheer each other up but find Nasa's mother Kanoka spying on them. She nervously introduces herself and says her name wrong, and also reveals that Nasa's father Inishi is so nervous he has not moved all day. Nasa is embarrassed with his parents, who are shocked over the news of Nasa's marriage. Suddenly, Inishi insists that Nasa take a bath, and though he fights over it, Tsukasa encourages Nasa to leave so she can talk to the parents alone. Later, after his bath, she tells him they had a good talk, but she wants to keep their discussion a secret. After they explore Nasa's old room, Kanoka asks Nasa to please consider that his parents will be next door and the walls are not soundproof. Embarrassed over the implications, Nasa is both concerned and excited. That night, Nasa asks Tsukasa to sleep on his arm, and though he likes how close she is, his arm falls asleep and he becomes pretty uncomfortable. He asks for a goodnight kiss, and they kiss before falling asleep. The next morning, Tsukasa watches the sunrise and shocks Inishi by calling him father-in-law. She tells him that Nasa is still asleep, and Inishi has no idea what to say. Tsukasa tries small talk and they go to see Inishi's library. Inishi becomes surprised that Tsukasa seems to be able to read old documents, and Nasa arrives and is surprised since he didn't think Tsukasa liked old items. Later, Tsukasa reveals a plan to make Nara fun by taking pictures of Nasa at old shrines, since she doesn't really like old places. They go see Nara's great Buddha statue, and Tsukasa spends a lot of time taking embarrassing pictures of Nasa. Later, when they visit other historical buildings, Nasa is surprised to find her very knowledgeable about historical buildings, and Tsukasa simply states that she has a good memory. They take a sweet selfie together. Later, Nasa takes them to Haijo Castle, which is empty because all the buildings were moved to Kyoto. At the empty site, Tsukasa is sad that very little trace of the people that lived here remains, which is why she insists they take videos of themselves to preserve the memory that they lived forever. Tsukasa reveals her talk with Nasa's father the night before, where Inishi thanked her for saving Nasa's life and that his two oddball parents could never repay the debt they owe to her. He asks her if she could continue to take care of Nasa and watch over him, and she promises to do everything she can. Soon it is time to leave, and Tsukasa leaves many funny pictures of Nasa to his parents. Although their trip was rushed, the couple loved it, but when they return to Tokyo, they find out their apartment has burned down. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.